Attention, we do accept super chats, memberships, and all money goes directly back to the channel to allow for more giveaway prizes and perks for our viewers and listeners. The cost of running shows like these can be expensive and timely, but we do it for you. If you can help support the channel, we greatly appreciate it. If you can't, all we ask is that you use your social media to share and support that way. We love you and thank you in advance. Let's thank also our current channel members. We have Saggy Melons, Benson, Resident Justice, Prakash Swain, DC Talk with Extended, That One Carlos, Caden Reed, Nick Carr, John Rodell, Justin Hines, Billy Robert, Adam Silvestri, Kinky Sphincter, Sean Adame, Nick DePalma, and Roblox Marvel Ultimate. And Rhea. And remember, folks, be respectful. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, and genders all across the spectrum, to today's episode of Jiving with Jack. Holy hell, we had a lot to talk about. We were going to talk about free speech and Dave Chappelle and Alec Baldwin shot a guy by accident. I thought it was going to be on purpose, but it was by accident. It was tragic. We're going to talk about that, but holy crap, we have breaking news. Dune 2 has been confirmed. So let's get right to it. Let me bring in the man with the $1 million voice, Austin Lean 316. You're muted. You're muted. You're muted.
I'm back. That's Caden's
You're back.
Caden, I blame you, just so you know.
Yes.
But what's up, everybody? Good to be back. How you doing, man?
I'm doing really good. Yeah. I got 3 quizzes this week. All of them have costume contests. I already got my jumpsuit on. I got my Michael Myers mask ready. I just realized I can do kind of like a flight suit thing too with the aviators, but I'll put the mask on, host trivia. Everyone will be wearing their scantily cowed outfits, and I get to judge them. It's a good life. It's a good life. I get to judge them.
My God.
More cleavage.
You know, when I come to Vegas, we've said this before. We have a bar here called the Nerd Bar. I've ridden a giant mechanical dick there, but they also do some great events that, Jack, you would be perfect for.
Wait, you did what? You wrote a what?
I just want to see some tongue. I just want to see some. I'll pay for it. Just give me some tongue.
Get the tongue in.
Happy birthday to you.
I'm going to show that every episode. That's my co-host.
Right, every show. But they also do an event where it's like ladies wrestling, and but it's violent and pretty. It's pretty.
So it's not like a Jello fight or a mud fight type thing.
It is that type of thing.
Okay.
But they look for judges, man. I'm sure you would be very.
Oh yeah. I put that stuff on my resume now because I got to manage like 5 different social medias for all these places. But first of all, you were absent last week, but you did an episode of Lean on Me last night with Poindexter Lounge. It was my favorite episode.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, it was kind of
I was on
it was weird. It was like a hybrid episode. It wasn't really an episode. It was just I don't know what to call it. It was an episode of Lean on Me, but it wasn't. It was more of just kind of a talk. Me and Enosh we wanted to, we talked about this. Actually, like one of the first times we met, we talked about that we wanted to do a Halloween kind of like horror movie stream and talk about all those movies and all that fun stuff and just kind of some fun horror experiences and all that. And last night we got to do it. It was a lot of fun. And shout out to Poindexter Lounge. He's awesome. Enosh, love that guy. And then check out
when I came on for 5 minutes.
We had Freddy Krueger and Michael Myers guest on the show, which was dude, what more could you ask for on a show that you
host?
host?
I think Leonardo and Adam are fighting over you. I think
Leonardo, good. You know what? Let's say hi to the chat. Let's say and we got a good amount of people here. So what's up, everybody? Good to see everyone. Let's see, Adam. I'm back. No, I'm back, Adam. Tyler, welcome. What's up, Tyler? Let's see, Nick Carr in the host. Let's see, Green. Yep.
I got one. Adam Silvestri. What's the hold up? Jack can't find his man purse. Yeah, I left it at your mom's house. Boom.
Hey. All right. Let's see. And then right after that, Ty, settle down. Leonardo, why won't you thank me? I'll thank you, Leonardo. You're a strong supporter of this show. We thank you. We thank you for your viewership. Let's see. Austin is so hot. Oh man, you're just gonna make me blush. Stop it.
Leonardo, are you following his channel?
Yeah. Command come. There's 3 videos with me in them there. All that whole channel is all me. Hey, so there you go. It's just for you. I'll give you a shout out to it and everything.
Oh, real quick,
let me smell your hair. I just watched it, and for maybe for some super chats, I'll send you some clippings of my hair or something. I don't know.
Remember those herbal lessons?
Hey, leave Leonardo alone. He's one of my favorites. But because I can't. Wait, that's right. Gosh, let's see. No, yes, we've had we've seen some things. So guys, please be respectful, be nice. Me fangirling enormous has nothing to do with it. No one should. That's right. Yeah, nobody should be questioning. Why would you question fangirling over me? I mean, come on.
Yeah, by the way, everyone always wonders what Caden looks like. He now has a picture. That is his true face.
Yes, that is him, ladies and gentlemen. That is him. But hey, Anthony, buddy, I love Anthony. I love his takes. Trashed him and the Flash, which is trash. The Flash trash. The trash Flash. I don't know. I love his nicknames for everything. Oh well. But Cameron, what is up, man? Good to see you. It's been a while. Good to see you. But yeah, what's up? Thank you everybody for showing up in the chat. We love your engagement. We love to hear from you. And as we get started and stuff, make sure and drop your opinions and your hate and all of that Jack wants. Put it in the chat. Jack lives off of the anger and bitterness and cold hearts.
Yeah.
Of our chat engagement. So please feed him.
He's a little bit jealous right now. Like, you don't talk to Austin. He belongs to me. But that's fine. Hey, yes,
Adam's just getting a little insecure. He's upset that somebody else is fangirling over me besides himself.
Cameron says he wants to bet about
Adam, I'm here for everyone. I'm like a cake. Everyone can have a little slice of me, you know. Go ahead, Jack. Take it away.
So a lot of cream, boy. No more drinking free. I'm in a White Claw. Listen, Cameron, we are going to talk about Dave Chappelle, but breaking news, Dune 2 has been announced. I was a little bit worried about this because it was also be on HBO, but it had a great weekend at the box office. Did you see Dune?
Did I see Dune? Boy, did I see Dune. I doubled down and I saw Dune. I saw Dune twice. Wow. I freaking love Dune, man.
You know what I did? I was at the theater. I tapped into the Wi-Fi, so I had it on my phone and on the big screen.
At the same time, man. Technology nowadays, bro. Isn't that amazing?
Oh, Anthony, we're going to get into Dave Chappelle. But listen,
we're going to get to
expectations were high for this. I had a lot of hope. Home to the weirdest chat on YouTube, and it's got to get weirder, baby. We're gonna get the OnlyFans. We're gonna get the feet pictures. Austin shampooing with herbal essences.
I won't even mention the helicopter.
Caden throwing out there. Oh
yeah.
Wait, is Leonardo a girl? I don't know. I know Kasuka is a girl.
What about helicoptering?
Dune was such a masterpiece. I saw it in theaters with my roommate while my friend was in another state watching on HBO Max with me. Dune 2 was inevitable like Thanos. Well, you never know. Because of the dual release on HBO Max, 2 movies in a row, Halloween and Dune, proved that just because you're streaming, people will go out to see it in theaters, and that gives me a lot of hope because I do not want to see Avengers 4 or 5, whenever that comes out.
On Disney Plus.
On Disney Plus. I want to see it in the big screen.
Oh, man, yeah. No, look, Dune, and you kind of knew, I think, a lot of us that are big kind of film aficionados and fans, look, we just knew that this was going to be a big movie theatrical experience. This is a big screen experience. I am actually happy that it had the dual release because I think a lot of people that wouldn't have seen it in theaters now saw it, and you know it's being talked about all weekend, being talked about the last couple days.
Yep.
You know, literally right before we got on, they greenlit Dune Part 2. I'm really excited and hopeful. You know, I think this is, you know, it's a world that is so interesting to me and got complexity, which is something we're going to talk a little bit later about too.
I love the MCU, but it was nice to watch a big budget film that was done with intelligence a little bit. You know, that it's not like you watch it and you throw it away. Like, no, you want to go back and rewatch it. It was just a pleasure to look at it, even if you mute it. The visuals were gorgeous. It was shot. Someone paid to see, folks. This is why real directors, it takes like 3 years to make a movie, 4 years to make a movie, because every shot is calculated, you know, and it was just such a pleasure to watch. Each character was well cast. There was not one actor I was like, I don't know about him, you know.
The cast was magnificent. Oh my gosh.
Chalamet sold me. I wasn't sure about him.
He's so freaking hot too. Like, oh my God. That kid, that is Paul Atreides, man. Let me tell you something. That is one of
excellent.
Go ahead. You
great. And whoever played his mother, really underrated actress.
So Rebecca Ferguson, she had a role in The Greatest Showman with Hugh Jackman. I don't know if you saw that. I really like that movie.
I know Ty loves it because he loves musicals.
Yeah, it's Ty is a big musical guy. Ty, I remember the first time I met Ty, he was actually telling me about his all-time favorite films and his most anticipated film. And his most anticipated film this year was actually In the Heights over Zack Snyder's Justice League.
Oh, yeah.
He saw
The Greatest Showman after Grace Randolph recommended it because he always watches his movies based on what Grace Randolph says. So
he's a big musical guy. So, guys, actually, if you want, go ahead and go to the Pop Culture Corner DMs. Let Ty know some great musicals to watch. You know, I'll be sending him some. Obviously, Les Mis. And Les Mis is one of his all-time favorites.
Real quick, people are arguing about how much of this is Warner Brothers, how much is legendary. Look,
CW,
Warner Brothers can still make good movies. They make bad DC movies or they make missteps with DC, but they can still make good movies. Matrix looks great. Dune was great. So they have good people in them.
No, absolutely. It's just when it comes to DC, it's the people running that is a bad thing, but that's another story. No, but you're right. They do make good movies. Dude, Blade Runner 2049 was Warner Brothers, and it's one of the best movies.
I enjoyed it a little bit more than the original, because I always thought the first Blade Runner was good. I never fell in love with it. I mean, I fell in love with aspects.
I did as well.
But, like, I never, like, thought it was, like...
Whoa.
Ooh, that would be good. Yeah, with MCU right now,
with the best take here so far.
Yeah,
I hadn't thought about that because I literally was thinking like I couldn't think of anybody to play Harry Osborn.
Yeah.
There's one kid, Lucas Hedges, that I thought, okay, maybe he did that movie Manchester by the Sea with Casey Affleck on Amazon.
Oh yes. I did see that. Yeah.
But
countdown. We're starting over again, folks.
Easy, Caden. Easy.
The show's gotten out of hand.
Right.
Starting all over again.
But
yeah.
Yeah, no, so I that would be a really good choice, actually.
Yeah. But like the point you just made about being on HBO Max, a lot of people who would not have gone to see this in theaters will watch it at home. They will like it, and anticipation will build for Dune 2. And they will go see it in theaters whenever Dune 2 comes out, whether it's 3 years from now, 4 years from now, 2 years from now. But holy crap, you know, it was a pleasure to watch. It was enjoyable. I think people are kind of reminded by what Martin Scorsese said when he said real cinema. Like, yes, it's a sci-fi story, but there's attention to detail. Like, it's just...
And here's the thing. And I've said this, I think, probably 1,000,005 times. So this is the last time I'll say it. They really don't make movies that feel like this anymore, man. It's so grand and big and epic in scale. Even Zack Snyder's Justice League, right, was cool and stuff, but a lot of that was CGI and green screen, and you know that. This
and
was, they went to the Jordan Desert. They shot.
Oh, really? Because I didn't know that. Because I kept looking for the green screen. I'm like, all right, because Army of the Dead, you can tell where the green screen is. Like, they're walking there. That's all green screen. They're just walking in front of, okay, that's gorgeous. And that was the beauty of the original Star Wars. They actually filmed it in Morocco. They didn't CGI Tatooine. They actually built the Tatooine. And, sorry, guys, can't take part in chat. Prakash, just hit like and just let it play in the background.
Yeah, there you go. That works.
Dune are excited. Prakash, we're not. There we go.
Dune is one of the best films of all time. No, it's definitely the best film of the year. It's not one of the best films.
Definitely so far.
But no, it's a great. Sorry, but I do like the movie a lot. I think it's one of my favorite movies. No, Anthony, I've been wanting to see it, and I just haven't had the time. But that is something that I really want to see. Was The Last Duel. I know it didn't do too well, but
yeah, I want to see it too. I just haven't, because I think I'm with the Antlers. I'm seeing a lot of horror movies.
You have the past, so you have more of a
But this weekend I'm doing a lot of those. I'm going to a couple of parties, and then I'm going to one of those like haunted hayride type things.
Oh, it's Halloween. Yeah.
The Bates Motel. It's called. So it's like a motel, like the Bates Motel, and then
you're gonna get turned. You're gonna get crunk.
I don't know. I have to drive.
You're gonna ride a giant mechanical penis if there's one.
Yeah.
That's
The Last Duel. I swear to God, I probably will. I tell myself that I'm probably not gonna watch it until it's like on something.
I feel that. I feel it.
Because the next weekend is Eternals, right?
I'm gonna see if I can catch it in theaters. I would like to catch it in theaters. Look, it's a Ridley Scott movie, and he's another one that they don't make those types of movies anymore. That he makes it. They go to location, they build massive sound stages and stuff, and so I would like to see it in the theater. But he said, Jack, you're gonna invite Leonardo. Wow, Leonardo just
we have
just leaving me in the dirt.
We have
leaving me in the dirt on Halloween. I see how it is, man. I thought we had a thing, but okay, it's okay.
Yeah,
I'm not upset.
I'll be wearing this costume pretty much every night till Monday. So I got my regular clothes underneath it, and luckily I've lost enough weight that I can wear jeans and this. Otherwise, I have to go in my boxer shorts.
Yeah, I'm just going in a Speedo. I'll be imitating a French person,
a victim of Michael Myers, someone in a Speedo.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. But
you know what? I'm okay with slow burns. Green Knight. I can't remember saying was interesting, but admittedly slow. What was Green Knight? Yeah,
I loved the Green Knight. I loved the Green Knight. I thought that was phenomenal. And yes, look, Cameron, I love character building. I love world building. I love story. So all that, even though I understand it. Yes.
I work out, baby. Yeah. I lost 8 pounds last month. 8 pounds.
Jack is thick.
I'm actually getting jacked. I'm getting a little bit of, I'm doing light weight work, lots of cardio, cutting down on my carbs in, and here we go. Tyler says 17 inches. I think he's talking about that night in Vegas, Austin.
Yeah, he's talking about the picture I sent him on accident last night. It was the wrong message. It was meant to go to somebody else. But that's right. He wants to honor me doing it stuff. I like it. No, the Green Knight. I loved the Green Knight. I thought it was great. That's very much my type of movie.
Holy mother of God!
Look who it is! Yeah, Benson's.
Yes.
Works out on the vending machine. Hey man, I work out on.
You don't have a vending machine. Oh, you or me? You saying about me?
I feel it. I don't know. I work out with a vending machine for sure.
Ours doesn't have a vending machine, which is smart because then people will use it. But they do free pizza once a month. I'm like, why would you do that? I don't get it. Like it's hard. I'm like, ignore the pizza. Go. Benson's from the dead.
Oh, yeah. I love pizza.
But Dune 2.
Dune 2's coming, man. October 20th, 2023.
Yeah, so
as
only 2
long
years.
as COVID Part 2 doesn't happen, we'll be okay.
Yeah, okay, so 23. So yeah, 2 years ago. Have you heard about the Delta variant? Hello, Rhea. They're talking about the Delta Plus variant. It sounds like a streaming service I need to subscribe to, Delta Plus. Yo, from now on, if they say mask up, I'm wearing my Michael Myers mask. I'm like, yo, it's a mask.
Yeah.
It's a mask.
It's a mask. It works. You know. But that'd
be so cool if you could start wearing costumes all the time.
Oh man. Hey, quick shout out to Benson's. Taking care of his.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Man. Yeah, man. Hey, boy, do I feel bad. You know, I take care of my grandma, and you know, thankfully she's in good health right now and stuff. But it is definitely it's sad. Yeah, it's sad. So, man, our hearts and our thoughts and prayers are with you. Yeah. Yes, I'm back.
Yeah, Austin is back.
The
new haircut.
Right.
After months of me telling him to get his act together, I'm like, get a haircut, you hippie.
And here's the thing. Lately, oh my gosh, it just keeps growing.
I don't know.
Ty, I told you not to talk. That was from the picture I just sent him right now while we were on.
Well, you're wondering, yeah. But Austin sent my picture and he's measuring it using like the ruler you have on your iPhone. Yeah,
on your iPhone is and it's coming back set between 17 and 18.
17 and 18, yeah. So.
Yep.
Austin, I didn't even know you were black.
I was gonna say it when it says "Damn, Austin's back." I was gonna say that's right, I'm black. I mean back, but
no, because 18. Never mind. Apparently, no one got that joke.
Oh man.
Jack, you will love the photo I sent Austin.
Hold on, let me see. I haven't had my phone near me during all this.
TWK is here. TW said, you know what, you put in the group chat, or not the group chat, that something was up with today. He couldn't make it, but damn, I meant to reply.
I love it. Let me see what Benson sent here.
There we go. Benson.
Let's see what the Benson sent my way.
Benson.
Oh God. It's for the next segment. I'll show it to Jack after the show. I can't show that one.
Oh. Are people sending you like dirty pictures, Austin?
Oh my gosh. Dude, you have no idea how many dirty pictures I got.
I don't know what that means. Peaches?
Jack got so here I'll set in the young terms, and I'm finding out a lot about anyways, in younger terms, what he's saying is Jack got ass. You got that ass.
I do.
Yeah.
Dude, no. Doing squats?
That was good. He's like, oh yes, I do. I do have that ass.
Like, I don't care about that, but now that I'm doing squats, like all of a sudden it's like, yeah.
That was the best response. He was like, yes, I do. Thank you.
I wasn't trying for that, but when you do a lot of squats, you automatically fill out.
Oh man, this is great. This is why you come to Jivin with Jack.
Yeah, exactly.
Ray said pick for pick. Oh man, you don't even gotta send me a pic. I'll just send you an ass.
Also, don't you get yourself Me Too now. You send a picture, you get yourself a
Well, I mean, I say if asked. I'm not gonna just be sending.
Hey, charge money for that. You start an OnlyFans, charge like $20 a month, then you send one pic.
I'm dead. I love it.
What? Check the private chat.
19.
Benson, Jack, are you getting jacked? I'm getting there. You know what? What I originally wanted to do, why it was called Get Jacked, I wanted to get in good shape using conventional means and then show like nerds and geeks like, hey, for those of you who don't know about the gym or don't have the time, here's what you can do to lose weight. I'm not like a professional workout, but like, hey guys, this is what you can do at home. So if like you're like me, you're a gamer.
I like that.
Just like it was called Getting Jacked.
So like if I lose a game of Fortnite, I gotta do 10 push-ups in between.
Ooh, that's really good. Yeah.
Dude, we should do when we'll do a gaming stream on my channel, and we'll do that. If we we'll do something like that. I like that a lot.
Marlo's like, what is this? Oh, it's up to 19. Damn, Austin.
Guys, so here's the thing. I was given a shot, and it just keeps growing at this point. It's like the giant penis from The Boys that started strangling Mother's Milk. So.
Oh, yeah.
I just want to see some tongue. I just want to see some. I'll pay for it. Just give me some tongue.
Get the tongue in.
Happy birthday to you.
My sense of direction with the camera is always off. How do I point this way? Okay. I didn't do that. That was Caden. That was our producer, Caden.
Or was it me? Maybe I just like to look at myself.
Maybe it was you. But you know what, bro? I want to thank Caden. He filled in for you last week. It was actually pretty fun.
Caden did a phenomenal job. Yeah, so last week
nice to have intelligent conversation on Jiving with Jack. You know, I'm not used to that, you know. Can somebody grab
vocabulary? My vocabulary consists of dirty jokes.
Quick, say conservatorship.
And conservatorship. Protein powder is a great supplement for any healthy diet.
Yeah.
There you go. I can't do protein powder because of, you know, like it's like milky and all that. Yeah. And I can't do milk.
They have vegetarian-based plant, and they have, my sister sells something. This thing called Arbonne. They have.
Who was shot? I wasn't shot. I was not shot. Who was shot? He said you were shot.
Someone shot the sheriff. Not the deputy.
But not the deputy. That's good. That's good. Let's see. Wait. Jack, Marlon should be your personal trainer. Yeah, dude, Marlon, he's big, man. He looks like he works out. I work out. Hey,
20 inches in the chat.
Go. Let's see here. Seriously, someone stole my ground beef. Okay, so Ty's been talking about this in the chat for a little bit, and now I'm just concerned. So I want you to explain yourself, Ty, because I'm a bit concerned. Either your roommate stole your ground beef, you got high and you lost your ground beef, or your ground beef wasn't really ground beef and was still live cow, walked out of your fridge and took off. There's issues here. If you buy ground beef, does not just go missing. So I'm concerned. Please keep us updated. The ground beef keeps growing. No, the chat keeps growing. But ground
beef is a good way to get lean. You have to buy lean meat. So like making burgers with like lean meat. Luckily my parents know how to do it, like make it stick. But healthy burgers are actually good for you. Like don't get your cheeseburgers. Like buy your own ground beef. Get the fat out. Drain it. So yeah, what were we talking about? Yeah, dude,
you look miles better without the new kids on the block cap. Oh man, yeah, I know. Like that's the thing. You know,
that's right. You always do have new kids on the block.
Right. Yeah, no, I know. I got my head, but I'm gonna come back to hats in a little bit here because I'm gonna be repping a bunch of stuff. But someone was making meatballs the other night, and I didn't think twice. Let's see. Nah, making burgers the right and lean. Yeah, Lou
Ferrigno, yeah. Oh, can I tell you Lou Ferrigno's story? It's kind of embarrassing. Yeah. Okay, so I met Lou Ferrigno for the first time at the con, and he's at one of the cons. He signed an Incredible Hulk poster. I'm like a little kid, and I'm talking to him, and this mofo would not reply to me. And I remember thinking, like, what a jerk. I found out like later that he's actually like 80% deaf.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's why he talks the way he does. You can't hear himself speak. Dude, if you ever watch Pumping Iron, Arnold is constantly picking on Luke.
Could you imagine, dude? I'm the type of person that I would go I'm the type of person that I'd go and try to shake Stevie Wonder's hand. You know, if I met Stevie Wonder, I'd be like, "Hey, Stevie, oh my God, I'm so sorry." But yeah, he said, yeah, man, you can tell by how he talks. That's just
I was a kid. I only had seen him in The Incredible Hulk where he's like, oh, grr, you know, like, that's all I knew him for. I was like a little kid. I'm like, hey, Lou, so what was it like playing The Incredible Hulk? And he has to look at your lips a little bit, too. So he has to read your lips a little bit. But I thought everyone knew that. Ty, this was like 20 years ago. I was like a little kid.
Right, yeah.
But anyway, now I know. I'm like, oh, okay. They had to dub over him in Hercules when he played Hercules. Poor guy. But he's great. Watch Pumping Iron, dude. Have you ever seen Pumping Iron?
I have not, no.
Oh, it's a really good documentary. It's an independent documentary about Arnold and Lou before they were famous. Like, Arnold just picks on Lou Ferrigno. Like, hey, Louie, what are you doing? Who's going to win? You are, Arnold. Yeah, decide I'm going to win. Like, he's just such a jerk to him. Ray says, I make,
Ray.
Oh, that sounds good.
Oh, Ray, you're making me hungry. That sounds so good.
Yeah.
But yeah. So there we go. That's
bad neck. Probably couldn't see you down there, buddy. I don't know. He was really in good shape. I mean, at the time he was like 47, 48. I think he's pushing 70 now, but he still works out. Really good work ethic. If you read his life story, Lou Ferrigno's got a great story. Ooh. Oh, thanks.
Oh, you got.
Don't send me down, please.
You said don't again.
No, you can say hello. Tell him to say hello. We love.
He doesn't care. He doesn't care. Like, I'm doing a show, coming in like, what do you want? He made some kind of hot pocket dish.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, I made myself a steak before this and had myself a little something to drink and.
Justin Hines says, I liked my bread to be bread.
I feel that. Come back.
Hey, Leonardo, where the hell did you go?
Yeah, where'd you go? Come back. Where'd you go? Does he mean you're back? I'm back. Good to have you back. But yeah, man. So what do we got on the docket for today? I know we're
gonna talk about Dune 2. Let's briefly talk about the Eternals.
Okay.
It's at 70-something%, and a lot of the people are saying, "Oh, it's a little too complicated."
Oh,
but
what
about the formula? I mean, I don't know.
Hold on. Say what? I was banned for that Peach comment that you answered. Who banned
you?
Guys, not cool. Don't ban.
Don't ban.
Nobody's allowed to ban anybody. Nobody's allowed to ban anybody unless they talk to to us first.
And if it was that's comment,
not cool.
I wouldn't have brought it up.
I'm so sorry about that, Leonardo. Yeah, it's not a bad comment at all. But go ahead.
I think it was Adam Sylvester. He did it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Adam. If it was you, bad.
How dare you say Jack has a nice ass? Down with you. But
Adam's just really bitter today.
I'm saying he's jealous, Austin.
He's upset I'm back. That's what it is. He's like, man.
Diarrhea pockets. No, these are homemade, made with ground beef.
Made with ground.
But yeah. So, are you? I know you're excited for Eternals. The reviews, for some reason, they're still positive, but a lot of people complain. That I was listening to John Campea, and he was like, "It gets kind of complicated." I'm like, and that's a bad thing. Why? They're complaining that's too complicated. I'm like, you think Marvel has kind of made us a little too dumb?
I think it's definitely it's simplified things. People have come to expect simple stories from these superhero movies. And so when stories that are more complex or a bit deeper or things like that are presented, audiences don't know. It's very similar to it's very similar to the Dune situation. It's kind of like it's a complex movie. It's like Star Wars, but it's much more complex. It's much more deeper, and so they don't expect that
was written before.
Right. But already people were talking about before Dune even came out, right? That there was an expectation that general audiences weren't going to receive this as well. And so, or a worry, right? And so I think it's the same thing with Eternals. It's a very Leonardo, sexualize us all.
I work hard. I shave. I put on a little bit of face cream. I put some product in my hair. I brush my teeth before the show.
I have no idea why he did that, but again, it's not my channel, so whatever.
No.
But
yeah, and I've been telling this schmuck to get his act together. But I hope Marvel's not like, oh, let's go back to, because look, they still said the same thing. Look, a lot of comedy, a lot of quips, a lot of one-liners, a lot of that. I'm like, okay, so they have that. But if they tell something that's maybe a little too complex, people react negatively, which kind of worries me. So I don't know, But I know now that's not getting stellar reviews. I think I might be more excited about it. I'm like, good. I'm glad the critics don't like it. It's probably a better movie.
Yeah, you look, and you know what? That critic reaction, actually has me more excited. It kind of tells me I think I'm gonna like the movie a little more. again, I'm big on these complex stories. I think audiences are smart. I think you can give them deep stories and stuff. And I think that this is one of those that the lore is so deep and there's so much going on in this movie. There's so many characters. I love that type of stuff, man. And I think those type of things should be deep and should have some story to them. Like you said, there's been some comparisons to Zack Snyder's Justice League. It currently sits at the same, which is funny. These same guys that are complaining and giving it bad reviews and stuff, that it sits at the same score as Zack Snyder's Justice League.
Yeah.
So it's like.
By the way, in my opinion, was better, and I liked Shang-Chi. I thought it was better than Shang-Chi. I thought it was better than Black Widow. They scored higher.
Mm-hmm.
So when the critics give a Marvel movie low scores, I'm like, something's going on. Something's going on.
I must be really damn good.
Yeah. Because Watchmen, again, is another movie that I think scored around the 70s. I think that's, again, good. Like, I like my popcorn movies. But I would like to see more Marvel movies where I go back. I'm like, what did I miss? Like Dune. I'm like, the first time you take it, you got to go back and watch it again. And what am I missing? Pay attention more to this character. Pay attention more to this dialogue. What's going on in the background? Little, hand signals they're doing. Is this Dune a remake? No, it's just based off a book because there was a David Lynch film that was not good. And I like David Lynch.
Well, yeah. So it is a remake. Yes, or it is a. It's the second. This is the second time they've tried to adapt
adaptation.
This movie.
It's another adaptation.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even call it a remake. It's adapted from the same book. And look, that movie came out in 1981. Special effects were kind of new. David Lynch is not a science fiction kind of guy. David Lynch is more of like an abstract artist. Decent cast. Patrick Stewart is in it.
Here's what I want to know. Benson, did you get to go see Dune in that giant IMAX cinema that's in Europe? And how was that? Because that is just.
Oh, yeah, Benson, yeah. He was like, I'm going to go see it at the screen.
Yeah, I would love to know what. Oh, man. So I saw it in Dolby Atmos, which I really love. I love Dolby Atmos. And Dolby Atmos is great because the sound is super enhanced. And Dune is a movie that's big on sound. And so, dude, like the seats literally shake, when things happen. It's just, if you have a Dolby Atmos theater, I highly recommend checking it out in Dolby Atmos as well.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. We have to appreciate these things. Sometimes people think good sound is just noise going on. Even if you watch like a bad old movie, like Star Trek, the motion picture, terrible film, but it's got great sound. Like people don't pay attention. Like there's a reason they give Oscars.
I wonder what Tenet would have sounded like in Dolby Atmos. You probably still wouldn't have been able to understand.
I saw it in regular 2D IMAX, but that was dude, that music from that.
Right.
That's in my workout playlist.
Really?
There's a rap song that.
From Travis Scott.
Travis Scott, yeah. Travis Scott sounds like a country singer's name.
Ladies and gentlemen, rapper Travis Scott. But Dune was a great theatrical experience. 16 days till this. There you go. 16 days. It was just terrible in general. But so.
Yeah.
That's I mean, look, I think.
I wish WB had interfered a little bit more in Tenet. And be like, hey, listen, you got to make this a little more cohesive.
Yeah, it's like, dude, listen, get what you're going for here, but normal people are going to watch this movie, so we need you to take it down just a couple notches there. Again, I have a real problem with just that whole thing of the lady going, don't try to understand it. It's kind of like I saw today. Somebody really let I think in the Marvel movies in Infinity War or what was it? It's like, what was the line? I'm trying to remember. I kind of forgot. Take over. I got flustered. Trying to think.
Benson, here we go. Benson says, I certainly did. I didn't want the movie to end. It was breathtaking. The screen is 25,000 watts and 795 square meters screen. I was about to say Miles. The CGI was so realistic. There was a groan in the audience when it ended. Yeah, it's a good movie.
That's awesome.
And like, I'm glad they didn't try to cram in the whole story in the first movie. Like,
yes.
you know,
But yeah, I remember, like I said, with Tenet, I just hate that lazy writing that he pulled. It's the same thing kind of with Star Wars and Rise of Skywalker. There's a line where Poe Dameron literally goes, wait, so Palpatine is back? And after all this time, and we don't know how, and just that's it. That's the explanation.
Yeah.
For in that movie. And that's just like lazy writing to me. So yeah.
Marlon says how many? I think they're like 5 or 6 books. It's like a whole series of books.
So yeah, so there's a bunch of books. The first one's split into 2 movies, but then there's like Messiah, Dune Messiah, and Dune this and Dune. So it's very well that they, and I very much see, of course, Warner Brothers is actively looking to make franchises and IPs and stuff because they seem to can't not make a DC movie. So they do have the Sisters or the Sisterhood in the works at HBO Max, which is a Dune spinoff. So it does seem that they're in the business of Dune right now.
Yeah, and it's nice to see a new franchise take off.
Yes,
that's not like one of the big 3, DC, Marvel, or Star Wars. It's something different.
It is. It's something new. I feel like this is Star Wars is one of those things that pretty much everyone can watch. You can watch that with your whole family. You can do that. This is Star Wars for adults, man. This is like,
yeah.
I love it. I also love the
Star Wars for adults. I wish there was more Star Wars for adults. I wish there was more stuff like that. Dune will be good until someone tries smoking. I hope they.
That's a big world, dude. That is a big world. That's like trying to say, it's like trying to say the Star Wars fatigue existed. That's BS. Star Wars fatigue doesn't exist. It's that world is so big and so massive. It's about finding the right stories and the right places.
Exactly. It's fatigue until there isn't fatigue. Like, I was fatigued with the prequels. I didn't like The Force Awakens. Here comes Rogue One.
Right. But after the prequels, they would have come back and said, hey, we're doing a Knights of the Old Republic movie series. Yeah. Reinvigorated. Same with Mandalorian reinvigorated. So it's not that it's fatigue. It's not people are tired of it. It's just people don't know, the stories to make and stuff. Like with Dune, there's so much world, dude. There is so much to go from. They can make 9 or 10 movies out of this easily.
Well made too. The only thing is, would Denise want to do that many, or do you think that maybe he might, like James Wan in The Conjuring, he might do like the first 2, hand it off to somebody he trusts, I
don't know. I don't know, man. I think he really loves this world. Like, this is he has built his
yet.
No, that's what I was about to say. He's built his career to make this movie. Mm-hmm. That was his thing. And like you said, he's not had a bad movie yet. The guy has not made a flop. He's not made a bad movie, and he's made now 3 sci-fi movies, all completely different, all with rave reviews. I call him the modern day
Blade Runner, and which one am I missing?
Arrival.
Oh yeah, that was him. I forgot about that. Yeah, I keep writing that's him.
Dude, I call him. He's the master day. He's the modern day master of sci-fi, by far and away. He says.
And we haven't had good sci-fi in a while.
Exactly. We had, besides the last great sci-fi movie I saw was Blade Runner 2049.
Yeah,
that was the last. That was the last great
Star Wars, and then there have been some great science fiction shows. That's fine. But like in terms of big budget films, we haven't really gotten, like the 80s had a lot of sci-fi. You had Total Recall, you had Paul Verhoeven's films. You had good, decent sci-fi, and we just don't get that in cinema because it's expensive to make, and they're worried that if it's not an established franchise, look, Star Wars was hard to make, the original one. Fox Studios watching like, what the hell is this? Like, what did you make? This makes no sense. And little did they know. So these ventures to make a movie like Dune, we're kind of lucky it got made. And is making money despite, lockdowns and mask mandates and all that stuff.
Jacob, I highly recommend checking out Arrival, Blade, and Sicario. Those are all 3 movies and Prisoners as well. I'm telling you, dude, the dude is just
Prisoner with Hugh Jackman. Gyllenhaal?
And Jake Gyllenhaal, yeah. He doesn't make a bad movie. He does not make bad movies. Now look, he doesn't. He also doesn't make movies for everyone. He does not make movies for the general audience. His most mainstream movie is Sicario.
Yeah.
But everything else, it's deep. It requires your attention. It requires your patience. It's
kind of reminds me of Kubrick. Like I never want to say 2001, but like all Kubrick's films, like post Spartacus, you know, like you have to kind of go in there with a pen and a pad mentally, like note everything that's going on. Go back and watch it, you know.
Right.
And we haven't had a director like that. Nolan tries to do that, but I think Nolan sometimes gets lost in his own head.
I don't know if Prisoners is streaming.
Prisoner.
I have it on my Vudu, but I'm not sure.
By the way, that's a Miley Cyrus song.
It might be on HBO Max actually, because it's Warner Brothers. I check HBO Max. Let's see. Sicario is far from mainstream.
That's on Hulu for me.
Oh, okay. Check it out on Hulu then. You do. But you know what I mean. Like Sicario, I think Sicario got the Oscar nominations, like the big ones for writing and
Sicario.
They did. It was not as good, and Denise did not direct it.
He did not direct it. Okay, that's why. Because I remember they made one, so we have Incendies is also fantastic. I haven't seen that.
Yeah, I believe that's his very first film, and I don't. Okay. I think it's a foreign language film. I haven't seen it, but I would definitely see it if I got the chance. Absolutely.
I hope. Kind of related to this. Everyone's talking about Squid Game. I hope more Americans watch foreign films. I hope Squid Game.
Squid Game and Parasite opens that door up big time for American audiences to look into those types of foreign films.
Yeah, and if people want to ever go back, Federico Fellini, watch some of his older stuff, like La Strada is a great movie, and Kurosawa. You know, I know a lot of Slider fans have been getting into Kurosawa because Zach's a big fan. But there's a lot of great stuff out there. Everyone forgets Hitchcock was British. People tend to, you know, because he made movies in America, a lot of them. So a lot of people are like, oh, he was in English. So there's a lot of.
I would love to see Denis come back for Sicario 3. They've talked about it's a trilogy and all that, and I really want to see Denis and Emily come back for that. That'd be great. People should be forced to watch the Raid 1 and 2. Yes.
Yeah, Blade Runner. The Raid 1 and 2.
So good.
Was that him also?
No. But I think Benson's talking about the foreign language aspect.
Oh yeah. I know that the Judge Dredd movie they did with Carl Urban heavily borrowed from the style of the Raid. I don't know if you ever saw Dredd.
Yes, I did. Like
the one building and everything.
And I like that one. I would like to see a sequel to that movie too.
I would like to see it too. I still haven't seen Parasite. Have the movie. Justin actually stayed in Korea for some time, I believe. Justin Hines, he had a brother stationed there.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So I think he's been to Korea. My dad's been to Korea. I have not. I could see Singapore, though. Noel Goel Gonzalez says, I cannot wait for Disney Plus Marvel Studios special.
Yes, we know Noel. We love it. We know you're excited.
Why do I feel like Noel is like the spirit animal of integrity? You know, I'm just going to say the one thing. Like Zack Snyder's Justice League.
It's inevitable.
It's inevitable. I grew up watching Kung Fu flicks. Kung Fu's from China, Justin. Yes, 3 months. Yeah, he knows I'm messing with him. That is correct. 3 months in Korea comes the Omnidog. But June 2, Eternals. Would you like to talk a little bit about Dave Chappelle?
Oh my God, I really want to talk about Dave Chappelle. Let's talk about Dave Chappelle.
Stand by, folks. We're gonna get right into it. Well, we talked about this a couple of weeks ago, and I was like, whatever. It's gonna go, dude. Last week protests, and then Dave replies. So there's been some lies here. They said 1,000 people walked out. It was like a couple dozen if you watch the protests. But it kind of got ugly because then some fans of Dave came out holding signs that Dave is funny. They apparently grabbed this guy's sign and threw it down. Netflix is in an unenviable position. Unenviable? They're not in a good spot. Because if they cave in, thank you for being here.
Thank you, Adam.
If they pull off Dave Chappelle. You're pulling off arguably one of the greatest African-American comics, and you're endorsing cancel culture. If you don't pull them off, Netflix can be seen as anti-trans. So I just want to read real quick what Dave said.
Did you watch his response?
Well, did he write it, or I have it written down? He did a full like 5-minute clip, released a 5-minute clip. Can we? Well, I haven't seen that.
And I watched it this morning. Yeah, Kaden, if you can find it, that'd be great.
I just have the article pulled up. Like this is the article.
And it's just good to see because you get to see his emotion and stuff. He makes some good points. Look, I do want to say this because I haven't spoken on this yet here on Jivin with Jack, but I'll say this: I'm a massive fan of Dave Chappelle. I love Dave Chappelle. I think with this closer thing, he said, I love it. I think with this closer thing, he might have gone a little too far at the end. Again, I'm not offended. I didn't take anything, but I just don't see the reason and the point in him talking so much about it. Like he's said his piece on and his thoughts on transgender and on all that LGBTQ several times. I'm a big fan, love him. I think this is getting a little out of hand and going too far. I do think as well.
The first time in the larger sense, cancel culture is getting a pushback. And at first it was like, oh, it's just right-wingers who don't like it. No, it's a lot of those people coming out to support Dave are not right-wingers. They're people who are probably on the left who are just like, yeah, come on. It was dude, his space Jews thing, I thought was like, whoa. When he said that, I was like, he's going to get in trouble for that. No one cared. People were like, whatever. He was making a comment about Palestine and Israel.
Yeah. It's a weird balance. And Marlon, I'm right there with you, right? Because I'm part of the LGBT community too. And so you're right, LGBT. And it's so weird because I'm obviously I'm not trans, but it's just like I think both sides went too far. Look, the whole Netflix staging a walkout and this and that, and you had the creator of Dear White People come out with this statement, and Hannah, whatever her name is, come out with a statement, and it's like, okay, no offense, I understand that, like, and I hear those, but those two people don't speak for the entire LGBTQ community.
Well, sometimes I find that issue, like, there's a great episode of South Park where Randy on Wheel of Fortune says the N-word because he thinks that's the answer. And Stan goes to the black kid. Toki's like, I had my dad apologize to Jesse Jackson. And then Toki's like, Jesse Jackson is not the king of black people. And Stan's like, oh, my dad was. Like,
exactly.
Here's that one person that represents everything.
Exactly. And so look, at the same time, right? Let's see. He said you're a part of our community. Jackpot. Yeah, man. Yeah, said it a few times.
Listen, I'm not going to be in Vegas the same time you two are in there. I'm not filming anything. Do not request me to buy like handcuffs, chains, and whipped cream.
We need a director, man.
Get Caden. Caden's made movies. Very good movies. He's directed. That's a big future film, man. You're in Vegas. Go straight to distribution.
No, but look, I look at the same time. I can totally understand that a trans person or is upset or offended or or even like if they were a fan, because it does seem like Dave likes to harp on this issue a little bit. He's done.
I think because he knows
he's done 3
the
specials.
Jewish community didn't respond at all to the space Jews thing, and he said it twice.
Right. But this is a constant. Like the trans and LGBT community jokes with him has been something that hasn't let up for years. Which again, I'm not necessarily complaining about. It was just like,
has he been harping on it, or is he just harping on it the same way he does everything else? It's just that we're paying attention to that one. It's like
no,
when I make fun of Catholics, why do you make fun of the Muslims?
30 minutes of that special was about
because it became a bigger issue. Like in his last special, we talked about the alphabet people. That was like a whole bit. But after that, they wanted him to apologize. And if there's one thing I've learned about cancel culture, once you apologize, they double down. They're not like, that's cool, man. We get it. They're like, no. It almost becomes like an original sin thing. Like you got to baptize yourself in social justice or I don't know what. But I think our friend Caden, our producer Caden, future director of whatever Austin and Leonardo do in Vegas, they will not stay in Vegas. I'm going to show that shit on Jive with Jack fans exclusive only. Kate, is this it? You're in control. So okay, it's a 5-minute response. So basically we're gonna watch what Dave Chappelle's response was.
Yeah.
Yeah. There we go. Caden. I think Caden went to go use the bathroom.
Caden
went potty.
Okay.
Uh-oh. All right. Whenever Caden comes back. But like here's my thing. You know me. I'm a very big free speech advocate. So while we're waiting for Caden, here's the question. People always talk about free speech. So what free speech guarantees you, at least in the First Amendment sense, is that the government cannot tell you what you can or cannot say or read or write or speak. So the government can't say, Austin, you can't stop listening to that gosh darn rock music or those rap lyrics. The Constitution says, no, I can watch whatever movies I want. I can listen to whatever music I want. I can listen to whatever comedians I want. And for the longest time, at least in the modern political era, the left, the liberals have been the fighters for that. Like, look, it was conservatives telling us, don't listen to Ozzy Osbourne. Don't listen to Judas Priest. Don't listen to these black gangster rap music. These women like Cardi B. Now we have a section within the left that says that uses big tech, that uses social pressure, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, MySpace, to create social pressure to force corporations to remove people. Or corporations are afraid of the mob and they will automatically censor. So Netflix right now, I give props to them, although I'm not a big fan of cuties, but they're standing up and saying, or at least that CEO is like, look, this is art. It's what it is.
Yeah, I agree with. 100%.
Listen to Eddie Murphy Raw, the way he talks about gay people. I mean, sure, it's a jest, but like, damn, Richard Pryor, George Carlin. I'm talking about the old cats. Listen to Chris Rock 15 years ago,
Right.
That special was phenomenal to watch. I laughed from ear to ear, end to end. Look, I'm pro-Israel. So when he made fun of the space Jews, I wasn't like, that's it. I'm not watching anymore. I kept watching. Right. There we go. Cade's back. Okay, Cade's back. All right, Cade has to deal with something. He's our producer. He's a very hardworking man. All right, so we're going to watch the response of Dave Chappelle. I have not seen this. I only read about it. So here we go.
It's been said in the press that I was invited to speak to the transgender employees at Netflix, and I refuse. That is not true. If they had invited me, I would have accepted it, although I am confused about what we are speaking about. I said what I said, and boy, I heard what you said. My God, how could I not? You said you want a safe working environment at Netflix. Well, it seems like I'm the only one that can't go to the office anymore. I want everyone in this audience to know that even though the media frames this, that it's me versus that community, it's not what it is. Do not blame the LGBTQ community for any of this shit. This has nothing to do with them. It's about corporate interests and what I can say and what I cannot say. For the record, and I need you to know this, everyone I know from that community has been nothing but loving and supporting. So I don't know what all this nonsense is about. In summer 2020, when the whole world shut down, I was outside doing shows. My neighbor had a cornfield, and he let me throw shows there, and people came from all over the country. Some people came from around the world to see those shows. The best comedians on earth came to my home and broke bread with me, and we lived our lives. We found a way to keep moving forward. I made a whole documentary about it. The first night of those shows was a piece that some of you might have seen. It was called 846, and it dealt with the murder of George Floyd. This film that I made was invited to every film festival in the United States, and some of those invitations I accepted. And when this controversy came out about the closer, they began disinviting me from these film festivals. And now, today, not a film company, not a movie studio, not a film festival, nobody will touch this film. Thank God for Ted Sarandos and Netflix. He's the only one that didn't cancel me yet. To the transgender community, I am more than willing to give you an audience, but you will not summon me. I am not bending to anybody's demands. And if you want to meet with me, I'd be more than willing to, but I have some conditions. First of all, you cannot come if you have not watched my special from beginning to end. You must come to a place of my choosing and a time of my choosing. And thirdly, you must admit that Hannah Gadsby is not funny.
That's my favorite. That's my favorite part right there. I agree. Gotta admit. I agree with that.
I desperately want people to see this movie. But I understand why investors would be nervous. Since nobody will touch it, I'll tell you what I'll do. I will make it available for all of you in 10 American cities, going on sale in the next few days. You will be able to see this movie in its entirety, and you can see what they're trying to obstruct you from seeing. And you can judge for yourself, but you cannot have this conversation and exclude my voice from it. That is only fair. You have to answer the question, am I canceled or not? Then let's go. Thank you very much, and good night.
Well, wow. There you have it. Look, I agree. I agree with a lot.
He's become like a philosopher almost, you know. Compare this like to his routines that he used to do in like 98, 99. Like the first time I heard Dave Chappelle was like 99 when he did a thing for Comedy Central before the show. And he has truly evolved into something else. He kind of reminds me of George Carlin. Carlin started off doing jokes, but as he got older, kind of became like a commentator on society.
Yeah.
Like he became more about, it wasn't what was he saying, was it funny, but it was also like a look at how our government, our society.
I don't think Dave Chappelle can be canceled. I think there's going to be, you know, this controversy and all that. And like he said, I think the media is making a bigger deal of it. I don't see that many LGBTQ community people upset about it.
But see,
besides the big public ones, right, that have made statements, the Netflix ones, look, but like I said, I can also see at the same time with some of the comments that he made and stuff that some people might have taken offense or not have understood. And so I think that is important for him to sit down with those people and to sit down and you know, he said at the end of his special, no more jokes about this until everyone's laughing. Yeah. And that's what I like a lot.
He says, you know what, it's a joke, get over it. Like he just goes full South Park, because South Park, they've been doing stuff like this, and have members of, let's say, the Asian community. Remember the Asian diversity episode they did? And
Right.
like, we want him to sit, Matt Stone and Trey Parker to sit down with members of the Asian community, and they're like, no, we're not going to. We're just going to keep making more South Park. I can also appreciate that. I have been warning about what they used to call regressive liberals for about 6 years. People who say they're liberal but then do very illiberal things, like canceling someone because you don't like what they're saying.
Right.
And
that's ridiculous. Yeah, that's what I disagree with.
And I thought I said we need someone. See, the right thinks it's going to come from the right. Like, it'll be like Donald Trump will put an end to this. No, it needs to be someone from the left. I thought it could be Bill Maher. Bill Maher has been railing about it for years, but someone like Dave Chappelle, who has a very diverse following. You know, you go to a Bill Maher show, chances are it's like 80% white. A couple of people call it. But when I saw that crowd, when I saw Dave Chappelle's very first special, like in 1999, it was a mostly black crowd, some Hispanic, some white. Right. That's the case. It hasn't been the case like that for a very long time. You see a very diverse crowd of black, white, Asian, Latino, LGBT, everything. And you can't tell all the people listening to him and laughing along with him are hateful people. He made jokes. Like the one part where he said, I kicked her right in the AIDS or something. I literally just went like this, grabbing my side. You know, I was like, God, I can't believe he just said that. Like, knock the toxic masculinity right out of her. I loved it. I laughed. And
no, that was funny. That was funny. That's not what the people that, from my understanding, that do have a problem with. You know, it's
he's a turf.
Right. It's that whole thing, and you know that it doesn't feel like there's a lot of understanding going on his part there.
I would,
and I think that's understandable. Whether I agree with them or not, again, I'm a fan of Chappelle. I like his stuff. But I think there's a point to be made there. There's something to be seen and talked about. And it's funny because Chappelle is willing to have that conversation. He just said and all that.
A lot of times these cancel culture people also they don't want a conversation. And I've noticed
that's true.
Like, they're like, no, we're right. We don't. When they say conversation, they want to tell you why you're wrong. And that's why I've kind of gotten hackneyed to the idea of debates. I think people should have conversation. A debate is like, well, I got to defend this point. You have this point. Well, what about changing minds? Maybe you can be a reporter and be cool with trans people, and vice versa. You can be a liberal and be okay with the fact that here's a Christian who doesn't believe abortion is good. Maybe that, you know, you can kind of accept that. Tolerance, we preach tolerance, but what we need is acceptance. Sometimes you have to accept the fact people are going to believe different things. And, you know, I love how Cat Williams never got canceled and assaulted. Cat Williams has been saying some outlandish stuff. He's been talking about like the Illuminati and stuff.
Yeah, Cat Williams is out there.
I love him though, little dude. They put him in Grand Theft Auto 4, like his stand-up bit from HBO. They put a clip of it in Grand Theft Auto, so you can go and see Cat Williams live. Yeah, but Marlon said, I said that he's reaching George Carlin's status. Like he's become, yes, a comedian, but also like a philosophizer, someone who's like, you know, basically what a critic used to be, a satirist used to be during the times of the Greek days. You know, they would satirize the society in which they're in through comedy, through stories. You know, but yeah, no, I think at some point the cancel culture thing is going to reach a fruition, and this might just be it. This might be sort of the breaking point where everyone's just gonna be like, dude, I've had enough of this. He's funny. Okay, you didn't find that funny. There are episodes of, okay, I'm a South Park fan. There are episodes of South Park where I think they go too far, but you know what? I have the choice not to watch them.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not like cancel South Park. I'm going to stop watching South Park. I stopped watching The Preacher the second season because they showed Jesus doing some horrible things. I'm like, all right, I'm done. But I didn't try to get the show canceled or anything. It got canceled on its own. But my point is, like, you just don't watch it. Like, all right, whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's how it should be. At least that's the way I think it should be. But
I agree.
Nick Card's leaving. Bye, Nick.
Bye, Nick.
Caden has some breaking news. So, Mr. Reed, go ahead and pull that out. Here we go. Michael B. Jordan's Val Zod superhero project Lance Darnell, Metayer, adapt for HBO Max. So it looks like they're moving forward with this.
Yes.
Darnell, there we go. Are set to write Val Zod, the HBO Max adaptation that Michael B. Jordan's Outlier Society is producing for DC Entertainment. They are prolific television and feature writers who broke onto the scene with the original pilot American Snow. Never saw that. Their project Nola sold to Amazon with Sam Raimi directing. Their 1 hour pilot Hannibal. Oh, it's about General Hannibal, Carthaginian General Hannibal. Okay. And okay, so there are people who they worked on Transformers Rise of the Beast for Paramount. So they have writers who have what you would call experience. I like this idea of seeing Val Zod. I think it's going to be kind of cool.
I'd love to see Val Zod. I would love to see Val Zod. I'd like to see Michael B. I hope Michael B. Jordan plays him.
Yeah,
but I don't know. I would really love to see.
I want to see Michael Jordan's Killmonger become the new Black Panther, but they killed him off.
Nah, make him Val Zod. That'd be better.
Well, you can do both. You can do both. You know, but whatever they do, don't hire Henry Cavill for God's sakes. Don't ever do that.
Buy JJ Trash Ass Superman movie.
Are we done with the JJ?
I don't know, but I doubt that's going to be a thing now with Michael B. Jordan coming in.
Bye.
Yeah,
bye-bye,
I hope
JJ.
not.
And your $500 million contract. You need $500 million though.
Some ridiculous.
The man who made The Rise of Skywalker. I never would have said this, but J.J. Abrams made better Star Trek movies than he did Star Wars movies.
Oh yeah,
yeah. But does this mean, Caden, that like we're done with the J.J. Abrams? Or we're gonna have 3 Superman? We have 3 Batman coming out next year. So maybe next year or next couple of years we get 3 Superman. We got Black Clark Kent, we get Val Zod, and whatever Henry Cavill's up to.
Yep.
Coates, JJ Superman is unknown. Oh yeah, Ta-Nehisi Coates is right in that. That's right. There's 2. Okay. So Alec Baldwin shot someone, and what's crazy about that is that some new information is kind of broken about the Alec Baldwin thing. So how many you been following this? It was over the weekend.
Oh yeah, man. What a yeah.
Where is my Alec Baldwin stuff?
Just an absolute tragedy.
Yeah.
Going on there.
Oh my Lanta. I did not upload the Alec Baldwin stuff.
Jack.
I did it all. I uploaded everything. Okay, I'm uploading it now. But apparently,
how dare you?
And of course, StreamYard's like just froze on me. So can you guys still see me? Hello.
Yeah. I can see. Yeah, you're there. You're there.
So this reminded me a little bit. A lot of people have been talking about this, but Brandon Lee. He was the son of Bruce Lee. He had done a couple of movies. The Crow was going to be it. He literally gets shot and killed in the movie while they were making it because of improper firearm. There was one bullet that fired, killed him. You guys want to hear a really, 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 really creepy story?
Oh boy. Go ahead. It's Halloween. Yeah. Let's hear it.
So Bruce Lee, before he died, filmed fight scenes for a movie called Game of Death. He never made Game of Death. So then someone made a movie with an actor standing in for Bruce Lee for 89% of the movie, and then integrated Bruce Lee's scenes to make the movie Game of Death. In the movie Game of Death, the main character is Billy Lowe. He's an actor, and he's in trouble with the mob or something. I don't know. So they stage his death. There's a scene he has to film that day where he's supposed to get shot, and someone puts a real bullet in one of the prop guns and shoots him with a real bullet. And in that movie, that's how the character almost dies. 20 years later, that's exactly what happened to his son.
Yep.
Isn't that creepy?
Yep.
It is creepy.
It's a tragedy, man. It really is. But at the end of the day, look, I don't know if you've ever been on a film set or if you've ever done a film or anything like that. There is I can only imagine the absolute trauma that Alec is going through.
Yeah.
right now. Truly, you have to understand, man, is he has absolutely zero responsibility over the weapons handling of that movie. He's an actor. And I know he has a producer credit and stuff, and that's still not his job. And it's it's just horrible, man. It's absolutely horrible,
So,
and there's no reason live rounds should be.
Here's what we know. So, this is from the article. We got some new information because they did a little bit. They started the investigation.
Right.
3 prop guns on a cart outside Bonanza Creek Ranch church set. The focus of the search warrant. Halls did not know. Halls is the guy who was the assistant director. Live rounds were in the gun that he handed Baldwin, and Halls yelled "cold gun," according to the affidavit. Yep. Souza told the detective the cast and crew had been preparing for the scene before lunch, but then took a meal break away from rehearsal around 12:30 when they returned. He wasn't sure if the gun had been checked again. He also addressed the possibility of cast or crew members bringing onto the set live ammunition and rounds, which can include potentially dangerous blanks. As far as he knows, no one got checked for live ammunition on their person prior and after scenes are being filmed. The only thing checked are the firearms to avoid live ammunition being in them. Joel stated there should never be live rounds whatsoever near or around the scene. Souza said he was looking over Hutchins' shoulder when the gun discharged. Hutchins grabbed her midsection, stumbled backwards, and was assisted to the ground, Souza told the detective. Russell recalled hearing a loud bang, seeing a bloody Souza, and hearing Hutchins say she couldn't feel her legs. Crew members called 911 for help. Script supervisor Minnie Mitchell expressed frustration that an assistant director yelled at her at lunch about revisions, according to audio obtained from 911. He's supposed to check the guns, Mitchell said on the 911 call. He's responsible for what happens on the set. Mitchell told the 911 operator she could not say whether the gun was loaded with a real bullet. The first assistant director, Halls, did not respond for a comment to the LA Times. And this person, Halls, was fired for a movie called Freedom Path after a crew member had a minor and temporary injury when a prop gun unexpectedly discharged, according to a producer from the film who declined to be named. So he was known, this is according to someone else, that's when they brought in Dave because he had a reputation for being lax on safety. Apparently, when the first AD walks off a project, Dave is known as the guy who calls. He was, wow. So it seems like this could have easily been avoidable.
Yeah. Yes. On any dude, I've done a short independent film here, and I had a gun handler, because we were using guns. There was a guns and gunfight scene and all that. A gun handler was on set the entire time. Nobody was giving any guns out. Unless he touched them, he was loading, making sure right in front of you, checking, making sure there's no ammunition, there's no nothing.
Right.
There's absolutely no reason a producer, a assistant director, a director, anybody besides the gun
prop master or the armorer
should.
There's only 2 people that should be handling it.
Yeah, go ahead, Ken.
I was gonna say should be 2 people handling it: the prop master and the armorer. And the armorer is the one that loads the gun with whatever needs to be and cleans the gun and stuff. Hands it to the prop master, and the prop master hands it to the actor. Unless the actor is some high-profile actor and orders it not to be the prop master, and
unless
this happened on Ice Cube.
Is literally like the executive producer working on the story, working on there's no good reason. On the set of Friday,
with Ice Cube, he did not have anyone but his personal assistant touch the gun.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that was also during the time when Ice Cube was. That's a whole different
Ice Cube as the rapper.
Yeah.
This movie?
No.
Yeah, so that's a whole different situation. That literally, there's no other reason. Like that's not. Yeah.
That's only. And the other thing was like that morning is that the PAs were like transporting the guns and stuff, and were making shooting range and stuff with them. And it was just like, so it's like, and then they left the things not cleaned. They didn't clean the things. They didn't hand it to the prop master or the armor to clean them. They just handed it over to set right away. And there was a prior misconvenience or malfunctions on some of the props previously, and then so it was just like this was a big mishandling on the prop master and armorer's side, and the PA side too, and these PAs were also like these PAs weren't the union PAs that were working the week prior. These are non-union PAs that were fooling around with these things. So whoever hired those PAs is also at fault too, because you hired people who are not professional.
Yeah,
and ended up with this freak accident.
It's a horrible accident. Yeah, Tyler makes a good point. So like Justin said, where's Justin? He said, I heard people are attacking him. And this kind of is on the point. I heard Alec can be a diva. I mean, look, Alec spent 4 years pissing off half the country, pissing off Trump supporters because of his impression, which I loved, by the way. I thought he was phenomenal. Yeah. We know about the phone call. He called his daughter a dirty pig. He's known for being a hothead. So I think a lot of people wrongly,
like in the first news came out, people were like, "Oh,
he got what he deserved." Like, no, he got what? Someone died, and he got what he deserved. I don't understand the connection there. He can be a bigger jerk as he is in life, but there's a difference between being a jerk and being a murderer. He did not want to do that. You think like he wanted to shoot someone and no, come on. And it's a shame because whenever this movie comes out, if it ever comes out, I can't imagine the studio wants to move. I mean, I heard they stopped production, but you keep making the movie, because people are going to know this movie as the movie where Alec Baldwin shot someone, and that's going to become the joke or the meme, unfortunately, which is a shame. And people going after Alec are just rubbing salt in the wound, as far as I can see.
It's ridiculous, and it's a bunch of people that don't know what they're talking about.
Yeah. It's like, again, it doesn't matter that, it doesn't matter that Alec Baldwin is the main producer on this film. It's not his fault.
I'm so glad Brenson's brought this up. So yeah, look, and at the end of the day, we can't say that this was done intentionally or anything, right? Exactly. It was the situation. A lot of people are going to get fired and never work again in Hollywood because the situation around it was very messy, and the set was not up to standards and all of that. So yeah, look, but man, leave it. I'm sorry, leave it to one of these far right wing Trump lovers to just say something. Candace Owens, man, came out and said she really put her foot in the mouth. I can't stand this girl. She's literally a disgrace to the American. She's a disgrace to America. Hold on, Gator. Let me finish. Let me finish, bud. She's she came out today with a tweet, and she literally said that maybe Alec in this whole incident was a poetic justice for him playing Trump all 4 years.
Oh wow! So she just said what I was thinking. Wow,
but she meant it. She wasn't trying to be funny. She was being serious, and saying because he called Trump a murderer for all this stuff, and that it was poetic. Look, it's just it's absolutely ridiculous, and it just shows how low of a person and how. If you thought anybody who thinks she's smart, take a look at that comment. That will tell you just how low her IQ is.
Oh, and also her whole invading Australia video. Like how she's like, America should invade Australia for their resources and their stuff. I'm like, what are you saying? And it was just
she actually said, was it a jest though? Because a lot of times people say stuff like, I don't think she actually wanted to invade Australia. I would not want to invade Australia. Canada, maybe. Canada was almost part of America.
She was going off on Australia for some reason.
Yeah, she's just weird.
She's brain dead.
Australia is like really crazy. With
I don't think I'll tell you what. I was actually thinking about it this morning. I was like, you talk about clout chasers. This girl will do and say anything to
appease to.
Because at this point, I don't think she actually even knows what's coming out of her mouth. I think she's just saying stuff to get controversy. Because people forget about her after she says something, and then she says something done, and she's back in the news. Like, she's the most forgettable and just dumb person out there. Like, her takes are absolutely irrelevant.
I don't know what she said about Australia, but have you guys seen some of the footage from Australia? Like, they're arresting people who like didn't wear a mask. Like, one guy didn't wear a mask and sneezed in the elevator, and they put an APB out across the entire country to like find this dude. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
that's crazy. Australia is like going through like kind of like a civil war, almost like a cultural civil war, worse than over here. But do you think they're going to continue production of this movie, or do you think it's dead?
No, I think this movie's dead. I'd be hard pressed to see. Look, yeah. I even think Alec might retire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, the dude is messed up. I mean, like. Go ahead.
No, you go.
I think like he met with the family. He's met with the husband, and all that, and everybody, witnesses and stuff, just said he's like completely out of it. Like, he's gonna take some time off, and which is understandable. Yeah, I mean, dude, I can't imagine. Like, you're in a scene, you're playing a character, you're doing your thing as an actor, you're very into it, and something like that happens, the cinematographer falls down, you're like,
so
what? Like, I mean,
were they filming him and he fired the gun? And
so it was he was rehearsing. So I would assume that either they weren't filming or that they were setting up the shot, figuring out how they were going to do it because he was rehearsing. But yeah, and it discharged during his rehearsal.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's one of those things because, again, it's on the non-union PAs and the AD. The AD has had a past of like being reckless on set and stuff, and you know, he's been fired and then comes back on different sets and starts drama, and he's definitely not getting work anymore. And definitely this is giving IATSE more and more things to say this needs to change because of this, especially because of this. This should have never happened.
Yeah.
PAs should have never been able to have an option where they were open to walk off set and them hire non-union PAs by the AD, and then the AD should have never been hired because of the drama that he causes on sets and how reckless he is. So it's like there's obviously something that's going to happen that is going to. The rookie on ABC, they're like, no more gun, like airsoft bullets, only airsoft and CGI muzzles. Those are the only things we're using. And again, it should have been what they've been using for a while now. It should have been like, you know. But then again, you know, it's like, oh, it's cool, but like, yeah, but lives are at risk, you know.
Yeah. There's got to be an in between, because like sometimes when I used to watch The Walking Dead, and it was clearly a prop gun. You could see like digital muzzle flash. There's got to be sort of an in between where they can make prop guns that look real and sound real, and maybe even giving off like a flash of some kind. It's not actually exploding something.
Yeah, they're definitely gonna change it to CGI smoke and stuff.
Yeah, and especially in a Western, they probably want to cut down on the CGI because, you know, they know like these guns have.
I think this movie takes place in the 1880s or something like that.
Yeah. So,
but also like it's something that, and like I wouldn't think he would retire per se. I think he would not work on movies that have weapons.
Or he might just take a year or two off.
Yeah, a year or two off, and then like no more weapon movies.
Who fired the prop gun He died a couple of years ago. That killed Brandon Lee. He didn't do movies for like 2 or 3 years. Like he just couldn't.
Yeah.
Like even though it wasn't his fault, and it was a prop gun, but like the way it ejected hit Brandon Lee. You know, it was like a freak accident. Like could not. You know,
it's one of those things where it's again like the rules of handling a gun. You have to act like all guns are loaded, no matter what. Even if you know it's not loaded, act like it's loaded. Yeah. And the person who said cold gun should have said cold gun, but obviously cold gun means it's not loaded. But at the same time, you should say, I think at all times you should say hot gun, because like to let them know, hey, this might be loaded, it might not be. Like, even though we just cleaned it, but clearly they didn't clean it. So it's one of those things where it's like there needs to be a thorough cleaning with these guns, a thorough cleaning with these weapons. It can't be like you can't bring a loaded gun to set and act like it's a cold gun. You can't bring a blade thinking that's like one of those fake blades, thinking
switch like the prop blades.
Right. This is definitely a lesson for everyone to be more handling and more thorough. With hiring and also with props. No matter how dangerous it can and cannot be, handle the props better. Handle the sets better. Handle hiring better. It's a big thing that's going to happen in Hollywood that's going to change. And they said that the film had a low budget deal and a higher experienced prep master armor. The girl who got the job was ex model who only got 1 gig for that.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Yep. I heard the same thing. Yep.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it was basically a bunch of unprofessionals and a bunch of non-union people.
Yeah, it was like literally the week Monday before, like they had a walkout, and then like it's one of those things where more thorough and more clean needs to be done.
Yeah. All right, we have a little bit of casting news update, so let's lighten the mood and let's talk about Batgirl. So, did you guys see this? Brendan Fraser,
yes,
the villain in the Batgirl movie. Have they said who he might play? Have they?
Yeah, Firefly. It says it right there. Firefly is basically a disgruntled firefighter who's very into fire. There's he was fired because he would start fires to go save the fire and stuff like that. He'll and then when he one of the backstories is that he was a firefighter who would stand there and watch the fires and not do a good job or be the fire starter. So, and I think and Firefly's already canonically in the DCU with the BVS comic.
Hey.
Okay.
Oh, keep going. There you go.
But it's one
I see him have a comeback. He's great on Doom Patrol, and so this is going to be a movie, but it's going to be on HBO Max, correct?
Yeah, it's going to be. I was having this conversation with some people on Twitter about when this is releasing, because someone said, oh, maybe this might be an early 2023 release, but whenever they announce casting, they always say it's sometime in 2022. And I think with filming
sometime in 2022, that's what I'm reading.
Variety, all the big trades and casting grids of all stuff, it's always saying 2022 release. So it starts filming next week, I believe, or in the next couple of weeks. So, and I'm looking forward to it because, we have J.K. Simmons, Leslie Grace, as we see here. This is a great cast, and then we might have someone else who might join the cast or not, who might be a cameo. But
Leonardo says hi. Hi,
hello, Leonardo. But yeah, it looks like it's gonna be a fun movie. because based off of if they're going with the Burnside or the one of like the newer takes on Barbara Gordon becoming Batgirl is where she's dresses up as Batgirl, a female version of Batman, and goes to a Halloween party, a college Halloween party, and when she's going back home, she's is like getting robbed, but they think she like takes that advantage because obviously her father is the famous Jim Gordon, who has trained her in hand-to-hand combat to protect herself because he knows that Gotham is dangerous. So she started, beating up what she didn't know was that these people that were robbing her were part of one of the mafias or the big and so she got attention from some of the Batman Rogues Gallery because they think that it's new Batman's new sidekick when it's not the case. And that's probably what is going to happen because in the comic of BVS,
the costume will look more like this or more like this because I kind of like this one on the right. It looks more, I don't know.
They're going to go back to the first one.
The first one, something like this.
A mixture of this and that one. It's like, so it'll look, because again, it's a Halloween costume. It's not going to look like it's, I think it'll, like, obviously she'll upgrade to a big, new, better suit. But for now, it's going to probably be this and then turn into, like, maybe it's like, near the end of the movie.
Do you think Affleck shows up at all?
Yeah. Okay. I think he might show up near the end and be like, hey, do you want to, join me, or here's something new, give her advice. I think with Keaton and...
Okay, did we lose you? Okay.
You'll have two perspectives.
There we go. There he's better. Now he's good.
You have two perspectives and of how to be Batman and how to be the best hero you can be from both Keaton and Affleck, who both have different experiences as Batman, who will tell Barbara, or not them. I think Ben will know who's Barbara, but since Keaton has never met this Barbara, he won't know. But I think, obviously Affleck will be like him being and everything. He'll know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think this movie will be really cool.
And Joss Whedon isn't writing it anymore. But I'm dumb. Speaking of Bat women, you had mentioned this on Thursday, but Ty wanted us to talk about it. Warner Brothers kind of struck back. Do you want to read this, my friend?
Yeah. Despite the revisionist history that Ruby Rose is now sharing online, aimed at producers, the cast and crew, the network, and the studio, the truth is that Warner Brothers Television had decided not to exercise its option to engage Ruby for season 2 of Batwoman based on multiple complaints about workplace behavior, and that were extensively reviewed, handled privately out of respect for all concerned. Basically, what they're saying is that yes, she was fired because of complaints of her diva-ness and some complaints that they got because how she is this. Again, you have to know the history of who Ruby Rose is based off of TV-wise and movie-wise. She's never been the lead role. She's never been a person that's on set every day.
Yeah.
So this is the person who's never been on set every day, who's never had a lead role, doesn't know the responsibilities of a lead role.
Yeah.
The responsibilities of a lead role is to be kind to everyone. So then you don't.
You're essentially the flagship of the show. You're the you're the lead person. Yeah.
Yeah. If the leader of the cast is not working well, then the whole cast is gonna look at that and be like, "What the heck is that?" Yeah. Because all these cast members that are in this TV show have had reoccurring guests and lead stuff, but Ruby Rose hasn't, and she doesn't know the responsibilities of a lead role.
Yeah, I mean
that side of things.
It's a shame because I didn't mind her casting. I didn't know much about her, but it's a shame. She seemed she was cool. I thought she was cool.
Yeah, I thought my mom likes her and all the things. So I was like, oh, maybe maybe I'll give her a chance. And it was just like, okay, yeah, it was fine, whatever. But again, but then again, there's still stuff that she said that was truth.
Yeah.
Her whole injury stuff. Yes, she was brought in on set after 6 to 10 days after she got surgery, and she was doing press stuff after she got her injury and wasn't fully healed. That is true.
Yeah, that's true. So they got some problem because look, doing breast press stuff is different than being on set fighting.
Because of like people pointing out when she saw the scars or the bandages and stuff, and I was like, yeah, she was, and
both things can be true. People often want to say there's only one right answer, one wrong answer. Both things can be true.
Right now, there's 3 truths. There's the Ruby truth, there's the Warner Bros. TV truth, and there's the cast and crew truth. And the 2 truths that connect are the Warner Bros. TV and the cast and crew truth. Yeah. And although yes, there's some things that like I'll say this: she was fired. She didn't leave on her own, and finally she admitted that she was fired yesterday. After saying she left for the past couple weeks, she's saying that she left. She finally made that yes, she was fired, and so she was fired because of the complaints that she was getting, and also like someone was pointing out that like was going deep dive through all of those things. She said some things in her statements that weren't very things that you can come back from, and so it's like one of those things where, and I talk to people a lot, and I'm on all these discords and stuff and run into people, and one of my friends knows someone who works in Vancouver and worked on these CW sets and said yes, what Warner Bros. Says is 100% true, and they know, and that Warner Bros. TV PA that did that interview with Comic Book Resources is also true. Even though she says she doesn't know who they are, she knows who they are. She's just saying that she's like, again, it's one of those things where it doesn't seem like she's doing this out of nowhere, but she's doing it for a reason, because of multiple reasons. Hold on.
So, guys, Austin is rebooting his computer. This will be a good time to let you know. So, as you guys know, I host trivia, and this week it's all Halloween stuff. So Thursday night, if you're in the Philadelphia area, come to the Constadters. We do kind of a trivia night / party. We do drink specials, stuff like that. So for the room that we're going to do it in, we're going to decorate the room. So I have to get there mad early, decorate the entire room, get the lighting right, set up my PA system, connect it with their PA systems, blast some music, put some decorations around, throw some candy. It takes a while to decorate all that. So I will not be here on Thursday, but Austin and Caden will be here doing Jivin' with Jack on Thursday. Folks, if you haven't checked out Austin's new channel, I highly recommend it. In fact, when Caden gets back, I'm going to – oh, you're back. I just put – if you can put the link in the description.
Yeah, I'll put the link.
Really exciting stuff.
Yeah, and also when I came on, I had his logo on as my profile. So, yeah, it's Little Big City. It's really cool. I also will have something there. So a couple things there. Okay. So yeah, it's gonna be fun.
It's gonna be really fun, and so it'll be Austin and Caden. They'll be doing the show Thursday, and please give them your support. I want to thank everyone who came out tonight. One last thing that I need to talk about.
Hold on before. But also, I was gonna say, there's the whole when she brought up the PA that got their face burnt off or whatever. That whole thing, the injury, they had an injury prior.
Yeah.
To production starting, and then they came onto set with that injury, and they were put themselves as a liability. It's not the production's fault. It's their fault that they put themselves in that liability. Again, it's one of those things where it's like bad practices as a personal assistant or producer assistant.
Yeah.
Or as it's one of those things where it's like everyone needs to be held accountable for this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ruby needs to be held accountable for how she was acting on set. Warner Bros. TV needs to be held accountable for the mistreatment of Ruby when she had her injury.
Yeah.
PA needs to be held accountable for him walking on set with this injury, knowing that if he does something else, can injure himself even more.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things where it's like everyone needs to be held accountable, and again, they're always something. They're like again, I'm not gonna say that Ruby is out for something, but
Yeah.
whenever people come out for things like that, they may seem
I
like
mean,
they're
she
out for
had the
something.
lead role in the show,
Yeah,
and this was a catapult. She's got. I'll just say this: very attractive, very unique bone structure, assertive female. I like it. Everything is a plus in terms of the visuals. In terms of her acting, she can come off as tough. I liked her in the Megalodon movie. She had a small role. I loved her in John Wick 2. She had a fight scene. So she is essentially doing damage to herself. And it's a
right.
shame because you have talent.
And also the other thing is like again, that's another thing like that. Yes, like the whole injury thing, and also like as the lead, and I possibly think she might have been a executive producer on this too, for the first season at least. But as that, you have to voice your opinion on how you feel. And if you don't feel okay, then say, hey, I just came from an injury. I cannot come on set for next 2 to 3 weeks.
But I could
So
also
whatever
see
you need to
Hollywood
do,
being very vicious and be like, oh, if you can't come to work, we'll just replace you. You know what I mean? I could imagine that also.
I mean, if they want to replace you after you just got injured, after doing a stunt that you wanted to do, that you did not want a stunt double to be hired,
Yeah.
like it's you that didn't want a stunt double to be hired. You wanted to do your own stunts.
Yeah.
You wanted to be the next Tom Cruise on TV,
Yeah.
So it's like,
or Jackie Chan.
or
that
the
dude was
Jackie
always
Chan.
being taken away
It's
in an
like,
ambulance.
it's again, it's the production's fault, and you're
Yeah.
also at fault here too.
Adams, please come on Thursday to support the guys, and also check out his show. Leonardo Wilkes is still here. Oh crap! I keep forgetting to not click on this thing.
But yeah, it's one of those things where there's a double standard, where both people are at fault, where everyone's pretty much at fault, and that needs accountability for what they have done. But does this mean that Ruby Rose is a terrible, terrible person? No. Does this mean Warner Bros. TV is a terrible, terrible company? No.
Yeah.
It just means that we all have a learning period, and this is a big one.
Yeah.
Again, it's like the whole Alec
Dave
Baldwin
Mustaine.
situation.
You ever heard of Dave Mustaine? He replaced. He became the temporary guitarist at Metallica. Everyone hated him, and then he went on to create Megadeth. So you hated him when he's Metallica.
And also, with the show, I think the big pull down was Ruby, because now the writing is better, the acting is better.
Yeah,
it seems like they get along better. So it's one of those things where it's like it's like overall, like based off of like entertainment wise, it's a win-win. Ruby gets to have a break, and then you get someone who everyone on the cast likes.
Yeah.
And gets along with every single cast of every DC TV show.
Yeah.
Like,
speaking of WB TV shows, I want to do this before I got to wind down. I have to talk about this. I don't know about the team, but I am a huge Friends fan. And the guy who played Gunther on Friends passed away. He was on the reunion. He was 50.
Didn't he have pancreatic cancer or something like that?
Yeah, and he's probably like outside the main cast. He was probably the most recurring character on the show. Interesting story about him. He got the job. He basically runs Central Perk, the coffee place. He got the job because of all the actors they auditioned for this minor role. He knew how to operate a cappuccino machine.
Wow.
That was it. They're like, all right, you know how to do the machine.
Everyone else didn't know how, but he did.
But like he just that one little talent, in the first couple seasons he's there, but he became like
that's
a really
that's why you gotta get tools in your tool shed,
Yeah. Learn to ride a horse, learn how to dance, learn how to sing, learn to play an instrument.
If you don't, then if you're a double threat where you can act and sing, and they're looking for a person that's a triple threat where they can act, sing, and dance, and you have two actors that are up for the gig, that one is a triple threat, but doesn't know how to act as well you do, but they know how to dance and sing now.
Yeah, exactly. So, I just wanted to say, hashtag remember Gunther. He was a minor character and arguably the biggest sitcom of all time, and it's a shame he was very young. 59 is very young today. It's not old at all, and it's a shame. But here's a guy who was in the first couple like season or so. You see him in the background. He has no lines. He was just a dude that was in the background, and he developed into this full character. So, rest in peace, James Michael Tyler. And last but not least, Austin and Enosh were talking about yesterday. You guys got to check this show out. I've been having.
Oh my god,
it's a fun show. It's so entertaining. It's on tonight. Yeah, I'm going to come back from work and I'm going to watch it. It's a fun, entertaining show. The character is very likable. I love this little romance he has with this kid. I forgot this other little boy.
Yeah,
and it feels genuine. It's not like forced. This girl is an ultimate villain. Holy crap. I cannot wait till she gets hers from Chucky. But it's kind of interesting. Chucky is definitely a villain, but he kind of becomes this kid's friend, and he's like, hey, kid, you got to stand up for yourself.
Right. And like what makes you like Chucky with Charles Lee Ray is that he's very open. He says, I'm not a monster.
Yeah.
I just kill people, but I ain't no monster. Unlike some killers, but like he's like
there are times I almost kind of agree with him, not the killing part, but when he gets back at certain characters, I'm like, good. That's what good horror is.
Like that scene when he's like trying to stab the bed and like they keep on moving.
Yeah. I was like, what are you doing? Like he keeps missing. Like, kill that bitch. I'm surprised my language. I was like, I hate her. She's a horrible human being.
Yes.
She's a horrible person. Dude, and episode 2, her costume. I won't say more, but damn.
She's so homophobic. That's
do you think that so without spoiling it, there's a scene where she dresses up as a certain character for Halloween.
Oh, yeah.
Do you think the entire school would be laughing at that? I feel like people would be like, that's messed up. I don't know.
I think they're 8th to 9th graders. They laugh at everything. They're immature. Oh my god.
Dude, the first 2 Problem Child movies are great. I love them. They're terrible. I love them. But Chucky.
It's so fun. It's so I think Bradley said it last night when we were on that it's such a good show, but there are some times when the acting is rough. But then again, it's teen actors. It's not like they're supposed to be
understandable. And to me that worked because teenagers by definition are awkward.
Yeah.
Like this is why like in the 80s and 90s they used to always cast 25-year-olds. They would cast 25 to play teenagers, and it was because they were a little bit more mature, they had a little more experience.
It made canon like the whole Glenda stuff, like it's so important that like Chucky might be the most open thing to any and everything there is in the horror genre.
Yeah.
This
might kind of turn him in a weird way. Like if this is going to have legs, this might kind of turn Chucky into an anti-hero. Maybe not an anti-hero. He's still a villain.
He's an anti-villain. He'll be anti-villain.
I could see him almost forming an attachment with this kid.
Right.
That's where the story goes.
This is I think there's sometimes in the second episode where you kind of when he says he tells him to do things, it's and we already know by the trailers that Chucky is Charles Lee Ray, spread himself through different souls and stuff. He put himself into Chucky. He put himself into the new Chucky and stuff like that. And
I also think that you don't necessarily need to have seen those movies. Like people crap.
Yeah, you don't need to.
You just need to know he's a serial killer who put his soul into a doll, and it seems
they tell you in the show.
Yeah.
They tell you in the show what they let you know that you don't need to see the movies, but it'll be cool to see the movies. But you don't need to see the movies, but they are canon. I think
Andy's going to show up in episode 3, isn't he?
Yeah, he's showing up in this. I think he's showing up in this upcoming episode.
Yeah, that'll be kind of interesting.
It's like the cliffhanger, and And you have Jennifer Tilly, who's back as playing.
Jennifer Tilly's coming back too. Yeah. She was great. She helped re-energize. I mean,
it's just great to see that all the OG cast is coming back, and all the references to.
That's what it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be a cheap toy.
By
the way, the animation is great because I can't tell when it's CGI, but then I heard they actually use puppeteers.
Yeah, they use.
It's great.
Yeah. Also, like the kill in the first movie, the first episode near the end, with that kill, it was kind of a reference to the Cult of Chucky.
The Cult of Chucky was good.
With the girl where she was on the computer, and then then Chucky spills the water on the wire, and then she gets fried.
Oh yeah, you're right. I like the one before that when there's a girl in the wheelchair.
That
was actually Brad Dourif's daughter. Yeah, she's also the girl in Cult of Chucky. Yeah. Good stuff. Good stuff.
Yeah, Chucky is like it's one of those things where it's like again, it's one of those things where it's it shows you that you don't have to forget about the other movies. Yeah. That you can embrace them, but then you have I think Chucky is a good example of embracing the old movies. And Halloween's a good example of not embracing the old movies. Yeah. And then Scream, which is obviously just a series. And so it's they're really good examples of how horror is being slasher horror is being reinvented.
Retooled, yeah. And I've been a big fan of slasher horror. I it's kind of nice because in the 2010s, mostly we've seen like the return to haunted stuff with The Conjuring, Insidious. Yeah. Really well shot, well lit, filmmaking, and it seems like a return to like, okay, let's look at the slasher genre. Scream, right. Mike. We just need Jason to pop up at some point with a Friday.
Yeah, wait a second, because I remember there was an article like saying, the rights.
It's some kind of issues between Paramount and New Line Cinema that they cannot work out. Yeah, make a good Jason movie. They made okay ones. Make a good Jason movie. Like make a fun.
Again,
counselor movie
is a great horror producer, and given the keys to like basically a lot of these great horror genres.
Yeah, I would love it. Do a good Jason movie,
and let him produce a Jason movie, and I can see a good horror director who has dealt with both, like mystical horror and supernatural horror and slasher horror. Maybe Scott Derrickson can do it. I think Scott Derrickson could be a cool.
That new movie looks really good. What's it called?
Blackbone.
Yeah, that looks really
good. That looks amazing.
That looks really good. Yeah. I'm excited for that. Listen, so I gotta go.
Yeah.
But folks, I want to thank you for watching today. I want to thank Austin wherever he went. Make sure to follow his studio productions.
Yeah, let me put it.
Cade's gonna put it in the description. But remember, you can become a member of this channel for as low as $2.99. And we accept super chats. I know we engage you nonetheless, but do it because you love us. I want to thank Nick Carr. I want to thank Benson, all the guys who did contribute today. I'm probably forgetting someone, but here is the link right here, folks. Make sure you give Austin your love and your support as he begins this new endeavor. He's got a lot of exciting things coming up, but he's not gone. He'll be here on Jive with Jack. In fact, he'll be here on Thursday, where he will be.
Austin are taking over Jive with Jack for one day.
It's going to be called Lean on Reed.
Yeah, Lean on Reed.
There we go.
Lean on Reed.
Give me your love support. You have gotten too much attention.
Yeah.
Go away before I bring my whip out.
before timeouts you again.
Oh, it was Ty. Yeah, it was Ty. We found out. But yeah. All right, guys. But I do appreciate the love, the energy. We'll see you. I think we're probably going to do a panel tomorrow night, I think. And if not, we'll see you guys on Thursday. Because remember, Caden, get ready. We do it for you. And we do it for the culture.
get in here!